Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Yellow Card Podcast. It is episode 13. With me, as always, Chris Jones, our newly joined third chair, Andrew Fasciano. Andrew, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, Diego. How about you?
I'm doing great. Chris is a hardworking man at the moment. He is placing his bets on the Champions League right
Yeah,
now.
right. I'm trying to get him in.
That's our boy. And I just got off of a really high note with Manchester United coming back from a 2-0 losing first half to a 3-2 comeback with Edison Cavani and Bruno Fernandes handing that off. Edison Cavani looked phenomenal. But besides that,
Excuse me, real quick before you do what you're doing. Do you not know who bet Man United again today? And they won. Every time I bet Man United, they win. So you know what? I'm going to keep doing it just for your sake.
Chris just wanted a little bit of credit there, so we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him a little bit of credit. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the MLS playoffs. Of course, the Revolution are on the second round, facing off with Orlando City today. We're going to go off about the Champions League, what we did last week and how we did. Chris is going to update us on that. We'll touch base a little bit on the Premier League, but first and foremost, it is a sad week for the world of soccer. Unfortunately, we lost one of the greatest ones in Diego Maradona. So without further ado, we're just going to pay a little moment of silence. Thank you. So to start, like I said, we're going to be talking about the MLS playoffs. Andrew, Chris, first of all, Andrew, actually, hit me up with your thoughts. I know you wrote a beautiful piece yesterday on couchguysports.com about your predictions for this week's playoff game between the Revolution and Orlando City. But let me know where your head's at. Let me know what you're thinking. What are some things that Revolution needs to do, and what are some things that we're hoping Orlando City doesn't capitalize on?
Yeah, for sure. So I think this is kind of an interesting matchup in the first two playoff games that the Revolution had against Montreal first and then against Philadelphia second. They had played Montreal and Philadelphia both a bunch over the course of this regular season. I think Philadelphia, that game was their sixth meeting between the two teams, and Montreal was the fifth. They have not played Orlando at all this season, so it's a little bit more of an unknown. Another thing to note is that Jeff Lemieux, who's big Revs guy, pointed out on Twitter yesterday that in 7 meetings in all competitions between the two teams, New England has never beaten Orlando in Orlando. So they have that little bit of underdog fuel that worked really well for them against Philadelphia. For me, from a Revolution point of view, this game comes down to one man, Carlos Gil. I think where he goes, the Revolution follow pretty much. When he's healthy, I think he has a real legitimate argument for being the best playmaker in the MLS. Taylor Twellman, who is Revolution legend, 2005 MLS MVP, said yesterday, I think, that if Carlos Gil sticks around in New England for 6 or 7 more years, he could be the greatest Revolution player of all time, which, I mean, I don't think that's too hot of a take, to be honest with you. I think he's been absolutely fantastic when healthy for New England. And I think especially now in the playoffs, he's so important because he makes every single player on the field with him better. If you're a defender and you're under pressure, you need to kick the ball up the field to an outlet, you can find Carlos, and he can control the ball and buy a little time and space. If you're a midfielder looking to transition from defense to offense, you can get the ball to him, and he can pick out a pass that no one else on the Revolution can make. And if you're someone like Adam Buksa who needs service to score in the box, there's no one better on the Revolution roster than Carlos Gil to provide crosses into the box. So I think he's been man of the match both times out for the Revolution in the playoffs thus far. I think if he does that again today, things will look good for New England. From an Orlando City point of view, they survived one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life against New York City FC. The refereeing in that game was horrific, especially in the penalty shootout. And it's going to come back to hurt Orlando a little bit today, I think. They're going to be without Juan, their first choice right back, and without Pedro Gallese, their star goalkeeper. I think in the regular season, New England and Orlando were pretty similar teams defensively. They conceded a similar number of goals. So I think I like New England's defense better right now with Orlando missing those two key pieces. Orlando was a better offensive team in the regular season, but again, like we talked about last week, New England was not healthy for the majority of the regular season. So I don't think there's too much difference. And if anything, I would say that the Revolution's attack, when fully healthy, is more potent than Orlando. They do have guys like Nani who are going to step up and perform well in a big game. Former Manchester United guy, so he has plenty of experience. But I like New England in this game, and I think the final score will be 2-1 with New England taking the win.
All right, Chris, what are your thoughts? Maybe some things that Andrew hasn't covered on the Revolution in this game today.
I think he covered everything to a T. I just think so. Last year when these two teams played in New England, I was there and I saw them, and Orlando did not look like the team that they look like this year. They've gotten some key additions and some key pieces. And like he said, they're going to be without their starting goaltender. So how does Brian Rowe fit in for Orlando is the big key, because New England also didn't face Philly's starting goaltender last week as well. So there's a big mystery there on that. I think, for me, I think Gustavo Bo is going to be the key to this game for them. If he gets going, this team is very, very good. Again, like he said with Carles Gil, I think this potentially has a game to go in extra time. I think this is going to go in extra time. I don't think either team is going to win in regulation. I know I bet the Revolution to win the game in the first 90 minutes, but I won't be surprised if this game goes into extra time.
The other thing that I forgot to mention is that Orlando City should have, I think, 9,000 fans in attendance. It's been a while since New England has played a game in front of a crowd of that size, so that might be something to keep an eye out for. Although New England has been a really good road team this season, so I don't really think it will make too much of a difference. But at least from a viewing perspective, it will be nice to hear some real crowd reactions instead of the canned audio that they've been using.
Yep, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think obviously the fan factor comes into a play, but to a certain extent too, because we're seeing a more diverse Revolution team than we've seen in previous years, even though they continue to get more diverse throughout the years. And with that comes the passion in which the game is played. And you got people like Carles Gil, you got Gustavo Bo, you got a couple other ones that feed off of that energy. And those are going to be the people that, as Chris and Andrew both have said, those are going to be the people that are going to be feeding that energy through the rest of the team to make sure that the outcome at the end of the game is one that they want. I'm not too worried about the Nani factor in Orlando City. I do know he is a previous Manchester United guy. He's an extremely talented guy. I do think that the stingy defense that Revolution currently has is going to take him out of his game. And it's going to be a big factor for him to be making mistakes that will lead off to Revolution cashing in on those mistakes. Because he so often is that guy that wants to control the ball all himself. And he doesn't realize it until the mistakes are made, and it's far too late. He did it at Manchester United. He's done it at other teams, and it wouldn't be a surprise for me to see him do that with Orlando City. But that's it for the MLS playoffs today. We wish the New England Revolution nothing but the greatest of luck today. Get them, boys, please. Definitely get them. But now moving on to Champions League. For a long time now, Chris and I have been basically eventually tied with our predictions. Now Andrew also comes in, and so he's going to have some hot takes in some of the games as well. Chris, how did we do last week? And I want each of us to pick the 3 best games of last week.
I think
Some might coincide with one another if they do, just an additional take on that game. But just pick the top 3 games and let us know how we did, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I think all 3 of us, I think, did pretty solid last week in it. Andrew and I both went 12-4. So Andrew, first time going 12-4 is pretty solid.
Beginner's luck for me, I think.
Diego goes 11-5, and then we had Jared Scally on last week, who gave us 13 out of the 16 games, and he went 8-5. So currently, right now, I'm sitting at 41-25. Diego is 40-26, and Andrew's 12-4. I think the games that we need to talk about, in my opinion, I think, where are you? I was looking at it earlier. Liverpool and Atalanta. 2-0 Atalanta gets the revenge after getting the doors blown off of them. The last time these 2 teams played. 0-0 after the first half, and then between the 60th and the 65th minute, they had Ilicic and Gosens give them 2 goals, and that basically put the nail in the cap there. And now Atalanta is looking even better than they did before, as they're currently still fighting for that second spot. So that was a big one for me. I think another big one that people really aren't talking about was PSG and Leipzig. So PSG was literally on the brink of elimination if they lost to Leipzig. And the fact that they won that game and now they're sitting in second place right now, tied with Leipzig, they're going to give everything their last 2 games. And then the other big game, I was a little surprised by Real Madrid and Inter Milan. I thought Inter was going to come in, with Real not having Sergio Ramos. I thought that was going to be a big factor for them. It really wasn't. So, to me, I think that it was a missed opportunity for Inter. And now, in that group, they're in trouble. Because now they sit all the way at the bottom. They haven't won yet. And they have 2 draws and 2 losses. They have 2 points through 4 games. And you have Real Madrid at 7. You have Borussia Mönchengladbach at 8. So you're in deep trouble right now going into these last 2 games. So I think that was a big one because, Diego, you were very high on them before the group stage was underway.
Yep. No,
So
I remember that. Absolutely.
So with that being said, we're going to just dive into match day 5. We're going to start with a surpriser from the last time these 2 teams played. We're going to start with Shakhtar Donetsk and Real Madrid. Andrew, I'm going to go with you first.
Yeah, so Shakhtar pulled the upset last time. What was it, 3-2 or something like that? I like Real Madrid to right the ship this time around, 2-1. I think, like you said, against Inter, they showed that they're sort of picking up steam at the right time. So, yeah, 2-1 Real Madrid.
I'm going 2-2 draw here because Real Madrid, yes, they lost to – oh, God, who did they lose to? Avias. They lost to Avias 2-1, who is probably one of the bottom teams in the La Liga at the moment. So I think I'm going draw here. I'm going to go 2-2 in the draw this time. Last time also too, Shakhtar was missing 10 out of their 11 starters, and they still pulled off that win, which is a fantastic feat. I think this time they're going to cause Real Madrid some trouble. I do think both teams are going to score, but I'm going with the 2-2 draw here.
I'm going with a 2-0 Shakhtar victory over Real Madrid. As you mentioned, now that majority of the players are starting to get healthy for Shakhtar Donetsk, it'll be a challenging game for Real Madrid. They struggle against the secondary from Shakhtar, and with how badly they played yesterday against Aviles, that's why I'm going with a 2-0.
The only thing that kind of makes me not want to take Shakhtar is the fact that they've played Borussia Mönchengladbach the last 2 times and they've gotten blown up by a combined 10-0.
Yeah, but
the only reason why.
But Mönchengladbach, it also has a very strong midfield game for themselves. It's literally what's holding the whole entire team into one full picture. I mean that blowout was insane.
Remember when I told you that they were going to come out of the Group B and you told me I was nuts?
Hey, I thought it was a hot take, and it is a hot take.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. All right, let's go Lokomotiv Moscow and RB Salzburg.
I think Salzburg is the better offensive team, but Lokomotiv Moscow have really impressed me defensively. They've been good against Atletico Madrid a couple of times now this Champions League season. So I'm picking them to win 1-0 at home.
So we're going Lokomotiv. Okay. I'm going Salzburg 2-1. I think it's going to be a very good defensive game. I think, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank of his name? Sabatizer, I think, is going to put the game winner, and I think Salzburg is going to win this game 2-1.
Okay, I'm going with a 2-2 score. I think both teams have a lot going for themselves. Lokomotiv being so defensive, but Salzburg also played a very solid game against Bayern Munich in the previous game. Even though they lost 3-1, that game should have really, if Bayern Munich had played how they played, let's say, against Barcelona last year, that game should have been an automatic blowout, and it wasn't because Salzburg just knew how to maintain the midfield and the defense. So I'm going 2-2.
All right, let's move to Mönchengladbach and Inter Milan.
I'm picking Gladbach in this game. I said 2-1 for the score. I think, Chris, you alluded to it. They've done really well. I think they can pretty much, assuming that Real Madrid beats Shakhtar, which isn't a given, they could pretty much clinch advancing to the round of 16 with this one. I think they'll be fired up at home, and I like Gladbach to win.
Well, last time these two teams played, it ended in a 2-2 draw. And if I remember correctly, Gladbach was down 1-0 early from a Lukaku goal, then scored in the 84th minute to make it 2-1, and then Lukaku scored in the 90th to tie it up and to save Inter Milan there. I think this time I do agree with you on the score. I think we're going to get 2-1 here in Mönchengladbach.
So I'm gonna go.
I'm already right. I'm already writing Inter Milan down, dude. It's fun.
Well, I'm going for the upset because it is typical in soccer right now, this day and age, that the bottom feeders try to make a name for themselves on their way out, and that is exactly what Inter Milan is going to be doing here. So I'm going with a 2-1 Inter on this one. I think Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez will have a game, but it won't be any bigger than that.
Dude, disrespect. I think my guys only have 2 goals, not a chance. Marseille and Olympiacos.
Oof.
What a fun game this has been.
Yeah, not necessarily the most exciting one. They've played 3 times in the Champions League in their history, and every single game has ended 1-0.
Yep.
Olympiacos has won 2 of those, so I'm just picking Marseille to win 1-0 to even up the historical score.
Listen. I had Marseille coming out of that group over Porto, so they've disappointed me. I'm giving them a point here. I'm going the classic cop-out bet here because I don't want to take either of them. 1-1 draw. Shout out Jared Scally on the cop-out.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 Olympiacos on this one.
All right. Well, we thought it was gonna be the best game last time. Really wasn't. When these two teams played, it's gonna go Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich.
Oof.
I said 2-0 Bayern this one. I think I don't know when the last time they lost was, but it's been a long time. I think I was a little bit disappointed in Atletico drawing against Lokomotiv last time out. So I think even though Bayern's on the road, I think they'll get it done.
Listen. Bayern. No, who Atletico Madrid's gonna win La Liga. Champions League, they need another year. They got screwed with the draw against Bayern Munich. If they played anybody besides Bayern Munich, and then Lokomotiv Moscow's played them tough, and RB Salzburg's played them tough.
All right,
Trust
so we
me,
got
this is still a good team. Yeah, I'm aware.
I was just gonna say we gotta speed it up a little bit. We're running out of time here.
Bayern Munich 3-0 here.
I'm going with a 3-1 Bayern Munich here. I think it's gonna be a much better game than the previous one. I don't see Atletico winning it all against Bayern Munich though.
Liverpool and Ajax.
I said 2-2 draw for this one. I think Liverpool showed some weakness last time out against Atalanta, and I like Ajax's attack. I think they're an exciting team to watch.
I'm going the same score that it was the last time these two teams played. I'm going 1-0 Liverpool.
I'm gonna go with a cop out 1-1. I agree with Andrew's take on that.
Let's do Atalanta and Midland.
I think we would all agree that Midland is probably the worst team in the Champions League this year. So I'm going Atalanta, comfortable 3-0 win.
Oh, see, that's comfortable for you? I'm going Atalanta 4-0.
I think every time that I want to go very comfortable with Atalanta, they disappoint me. So I'm just gonna go with a safe bet of 2-0.
Porto and Man City.
I say Man City is going to win 1-0. I think they don't have all that much to play for because they're already through, but I think their depth is still enough.
I'm going Man City 3-1.
I'm going Porto 2-1.
Such a Diego pick. Let's go Istanbul, Başakşehir, and RB Leipzig.
I think Leipzig will win this one 1-0. They won last time at home, and with a win, they can really bolster their case to get through to the round of 16.
I'm going Leipzig 2-0.
Yeah, same here. 2-0 Leipzig.
All right.
The
Let's
most
go,
exciting game of the week.
No, not yet. Hold on. Krasnodar and Rennes.
Exactly.
Good one.
I'm going cop-out 1-1 draw this time.
Whoa. You don't have faith. You don't have faith in my boys from Rennes. Give me Rennes 2-1. Let's go.
Give me Krasnodar 2-1.
I swear sometimes you just pick against me just to spite me.
But sometimes it has words. So
yeah, sometimes it has words. You're right. All right, let's talk about the game that Diego can't wait to watch. Man United and PSG.
This is a really interesting one for me.
It is.
I think PSG are, even though they won last time, I think they're still kind of feeling the pressure a little bit. I think they're going to kind of attack maybe a little bit too much, thinking that they need to win this game, and I like Man United on the counterattack. They've got a lot of speed. I think they can get in behind PSG's defense. So I'm picking Man United to win 2-1.
Diego, I'm gonna let you go first before I give you mine because you might get angry.
He's a hater, so no problem.
No. You're gonna like what I have to say about this game, but I want you to go first.
All right. I'm gonna go with Manchester United 2-1 here. I do think that Neymar and company are gonna come in attacking hot and wanting to buy the VAR system to their advantage. So I do see Neymar pulling the same kind of bullcrap that he pulled with Leipzig, but still 2-1 Manchester United.
All right, so just like both of you said, PSG is going to come out flying. So what's Ole going to do? They're already 3 points ahead of them. They're going to play a very defensive-heavy game, and this is going to end in a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Because Man United doesn't need to win to move on. All they need to do is at least get a point. So I'm telling you, I'm looking in the future. 1-1 draw is the play here.
Okay.
Let's go Dortmund and Lazio.
2-0 Dortmund. I know they lost last time against Lazio, but their attack is flying on all cylinders right now.
I can't go against my boy Haaland. Dortmund as well. 2-0.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna go with a cop out here because Ciro Immobile is back in and healthy. So I'm gonna go 1-1.
Well, he was healthy last time they played too. It's fine.
I know, but last time that Lazio played in the Champions League, he wasn't available. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1.
They still won that game. Barcelona, Fernández and Barcelona.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Barcelona. I doubted them last time, and they proved me wrong, so I'm not going to pick against them again.
I'm going 3-0 Barcelona.
I'm going 2-0 Barcelona because Ferencváros gave a hell of a game to Juventus. So
Damn right they did. Speaking of Juventus and Dynamo Kiev.
3-0 Juventus, I'm saying. They beat them 2-0 on the road. I'll pick another goal for them at home.
I'm going 2-1. 2-1. Dynamo Kiev played them very tough last time, and I think they're going to do it again.
I think it's going to be the same score as last, 2-0.
Club Brugge and Zenit.
This one's another exciting one, huh?
I'll give you mine real quick. Zenit 2-1.
Okay.
Interesting. I like Brugge 1-0 in this one.
I like Zenit in this one actually. 1-0.
Last game, Sevilla and Chelsea. This is a very must-watch game in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's almost a shame that they're both qualified already because it might not be the full strength matchup. But I like Chelsea to win this one 2-1. I think that they have a little bit more offensive depth than Sevilla do.
Diego, was it you last time that called the draw in this one?
I
When
did.
these two teams played?
Yep.
That's right. It was you. Chelsea's only given up one goal in the Champions League. Eduardo Mendy's been so good. I think last time they played Sevilla was coming off high, playing Bayern Munich very well. I think they're going to come back down to earth a little bit. I'm going Chelsea 2-0 in this one.
I'm gonna go actually with a 2-2 game here, but I think that knowing that both of them are gonna be qualified and Chelsea being the type of team that they are right now, they're gonna want to do some damage moving forward.
Well, the thing is that they're both tied with points too. So basically,
Exactly.
if they win this, they can clinch the 1 seed of the group, and they can get the 2 seed of another group. So, it's a big thing in Champions League.
So I'm going with a 2-2 here for this game.
All right, so we got our picks. Next week, we'll have match day 6 and 6 of the group stage of Champions League.
Wow. All right, so that wraps it up for Champions League. And on Premier League, we clearly saw the Everton game yesterday, which was a bit of a disappointment. I think Everton definitely needs a couple of additions, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was a great game to watch from a neutral perspective. Both teams had tons of chances, but
Yeah.
my main issue with the match is just I think Leeds is so well drilled under Bielsa. Like they have continuity in what they're trying to do in their lineup, and I think Everton recently injuries haven't helped, but they've been a little bit all over the place. Like the game yesterday, they were playing a central midfielder and a winger / cam as their 2 wingbacks, which they did an okay job, but I think it doesn't exactly help that they're kind of switching up formations so regularly and asking players to play out of position, which goes back to the issue of depth that we talked about last week.
Yep. And then and to wrap it up for the episode, the Premier League is allowing fans back again come December 2nd for local games, depending on the city that they'll be playing. So that will be an exciting one to watch for the Premier League. That pretty much does it for episode 13 of the Yellow Card Podcast. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to follow Couch Guys Sports, and make sure to check out their merchandise at couchguysportshop.com. Thank you, and tune in next week for episode 14.